Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to A View from the Sip.
I'm trying to share it.
We appreciate you trying to share. Woo child, woo child. Do we have a show for y'all tonight, baby? Woo. It's about to get spicy. Y'all go text your friends, baby. Tell them it's about to get spicy up in here, up in here. Woo child. But of course, we're going to start off by talking about these election results and getting, to the business first. We got to talk about the election results. We got to talk about the Department of Justice investigate the Lexington Police Department. So it's a lot going on. And we also got to talk about Common. Is he toxic or is he just dating? We want to talk about relationships tonight. And Tasha K broke a story on her blog yesterday. And everybody, all the blogs are talking about Will Smith and Dwayne. I forgot Dwayne's last name. One of his Will Smith best friends said he caught them having sex. So let's talk about it. Let's dive right on in.
Dwayne Martin is
I think it is Dwayne Martin.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. Okay.
Well, let's talk about.
Let's
get rid of the business first, and hopefully, Cardell. I told him get on about 8:10, 8:15. He's joining us. Cardell, right from the Fannie. I can say the Fannie Lou, but from Lexington, Mississippi. He's going to get on and talk about what's going on in Lexington, Mississippi, and how the police just been harassing the citizens there. But today, they finally called the race for the Public Service Commissioner race. Finally. They did not want to call declare Keitha the winner. And it was about, 2,000 votes difference in that? But the race was actually called today. And just look at the statement from
I'm so glad.
Bailey. When after a loss, Dr. King once said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands in moments of challenge and controversy. Like, read this man's statement after he lost. He did not call to keep his name. He did not concede. He did not do all the things that you are supposed to do when you lose a race. When you lose and when you be defeated, that tells us who you are, how you handle defeat. For him to say, looking right now, everything will be certified this week. While the race has been called by the AP, the process run its course at the state level. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve in this role, and I send best wishes to the Mississippi Public Service Commission come January. Say what now? That is not how you... What you think?
To the Mississippi Public.
What you say? Am I crazy?
I think that. Well, I think it shows a lot. It shows the person's character that you don't feel that you can be that someone else can be victorious over you. You feel, it just shows a man's character and the lack of, and that's all I really have to say about that, because it holds no weight, first of all. and it's cowardly. It's unsportsmanlike conduct. Poor sportsmanship, as just you know, just running a race of any kind. It's horrible. It's horrible.
So again, we want to just send a shout out and
And you still lost.
Sorry, loser.
Dun, dun,
Man,
dun.
that's so sad though.
Yeah.
That's so
You did like
sad.
I did. You lost.
Do you know how it feels to lose to a black man? Because I really want us to talk about this. Um, no black person holds a statewide position in Mississippi, and Mississippi has the highest number of African Americans than any other state at 40%.
Absolutely.
So with 40% black population, we also have the most black elected officials. Even though we have the most black elected officials, we don't have no power. They put us in certain positions to limit our power, and they rewrote the 1890 Constitution right after the end of Reconstruction. And that's a lot of reason why you have no black person holding a statewide office. That's 129 years that no black person has held a statewide position. And for Dekeitha and the Transportation Commissioner, Willie Simmons, to even get the Central District, that's a dent in the wall that we got to keep knocking down, you guys. That's why it's a big deal. Because they holding it. Hey, they got a tight hold on all these offices statewide. And something got to change. Your representation is taxation without representation.
Without representation, taxation without representation, absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts about that? No black person.
I just wonder where. I know where it can start because it has started. We're looking at Dekeitha and
Bailey.
Yeah, no, jeez, I just forgot his name.
Oh, Simmons, Willie Simmons.
Anyway, Simmons, yeah. Stamped and Simmons. So I know where it starts, but the thing is, we have to continue it. And I don't think that the conversation is broad enough. I feel like that about anything that is lacking, whatever it needs, that there is not enough conversation. We talk about it today, but then we don't talk about it again to next year. There's a gap in between that. And in that time, other stuff that went on and played on. So people not really on it like that. It's just certain things you have to constantly, nonstop communicate, conversate about. And I don't think that just as a people we do that about what's important anyway. I mean, we talk, no offense, but we talk about the Renaissance tour for years and years and years to come, non-stop. But when it comes to voting and actually, things that really do matter, it's a hit and miss.
Yeah,
and then you're mad.
It's not going to be
the
many
next
people
Renaissance tour you won't even be able to go to.
Right. Most people don't want to talk about the election results. They don't want to talk about what's going on in Lexington. But when we start talking about cum and all this toxic, low-level stuff, they're going to be ready to talk about that.
Life is full of unnecessary drama. And people are way more concerned with what you are doing personally than what you are actually contributing to, which is, I think, is so sad. Yeah. So I don't know how we as a people get past it or get through it. Besides continue, just keep talking. So that's my whole thing. I'll continue to keep talking as much as I can.
Hey, Brother Cardell, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Better than blessed.
Absolutely wonderful. Welcome,
from
welcome to the show.
Freedom Democratic Party. Do you know Jermaine?
I don't think so. Maybe I
Y'all
do.
introduce yourselves to one another.
Well, I'm Cardell Wright. I'm the president of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party in Holmes County, Mississippi. Glad to be here.
Happy to have
Awesome,
you.
awesome. Well, I'm Jermaine Jenkins. Most people know me as J Structure. I am a celebrity image influencer, makeup artist, hairstylist, salon owner, whole bunch of other stuff, and I just kind
Well,
of run my
well, I'm
mouth on
probably
this
gonna
show with
need
Dr.
you.
Huh?
I'm probably gonna need you when I make it big.
Oh, absolutely.
You need him now.
I'm available now. I'm available now. You don't have to make it
Don't wait
big.
till you get big. We got to start today dressing for the career
Yeah,
we
you
want.
gotta start now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What is
That way you
going
don't have to
on
get ready.
in Lexington?
You already be ready.
Oh, well, what's going on in Lexington? After a long, hard fought battle for the last 3.5 years, last Wednesday, I think it was November the 8th, Assistant Attorney General Christian Clark with the Civil Rights Division, Department of Justice, and U.S. Attorney Todd G. Officially opened a pattern and practice investigation into the city of Lexington and the Lexington Police Department. So we're actually excited about that because we've been dealing with the misconduct and illegal actions of the Lexington Police Department for approximately 3.5 years. So it's been a long, hard battle. So right now, the Department of Justice is there every day in the Lexington Police Department, attending court and pulling documents. And it's going to be a while. They're going to be here a while. So we're excited.
Oh wow, they sitting in court. They really?
Yep, they had court. I think it was Monday they had court. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. It was either Friday or yesterday, and they were there watching everything. Because some of the reports from some of the citizens were when they go to court, they're not represented by an attorney, or the judge won't allow them to speak, or the judge just goes with whatever the police reports without any defense from the victims. And so it's kind of like in Lexington, everything just been going everywhere. There's been like no structure, no system. It's whatever the police says. And so what they're saying they're going to do, Lexington is ground zero, basically. So they're in Lexington Police Department, but they're going to end up in the Lexington City Hall. And wherever the documents and trail leads, that's where they're going to go. If they end up at the sheriff's department, if they end up at the county board of supervisors, if they end up in other municipalities, they're just going to follow the trail where it goes, because some of the police who are problematic, they also work in other municipalities in the county. So that behavior and misconduct is going around the county to Chula and to Durant and to Goodman and to Pickens and all the other places. So they said that this investigation may take up to a year. So we're looking for their presence for approximately a year. Yep.
Wow. Questions, co-host?
I'm just shocked to hear it.
Yeah.
So I guess I would ask, what do you think took so long for this action to take place, for them to actually step in and finally take people's complaints seriously?
Well, what I will say is a lot of times they try to see how egregious the situation is. And then also, the Department of Justice is the federal entity, and they're so busy. So they have did investigations in Albuquerque, Phoenix, Minneapolis, Seattle, Ferguson. So they had to wrap up some of the things in the places that they were at before they came here. Because, yes, it's a big department, but they are also stretched thin. So there were a lot of situations that caused them to come here, because what people don't know is that this situation really started in 2020. And we're just getting to the place that we're at in 2023. So it took a lot of groundwork. It took a lot, because see, a lot of times the situations that happen are are in the house or in the city, and it's not getting out. But we had the couple of situations that kind of got national attention, like when Officer Hooker got the recorded former Chief Sam Dobbins, using the N word and saying he shot him 118 times. That's when it first went statewide, national, and international. And then we had other situations that kind of got out, and then that attorney ended up getting arrested. So that went out as well. So it was those things right there. And then we had, like, my organization, we started sending letters to the Department of Justice outlining and detailing everything that was going on. Because the difference is because, like, they were in Minneapolis 2 years before they reached the end. But those are bigger municipalities. But they realized that the situation in Lexington, we're the first small city that they have opened an investigation in, but it is just as bad or even more severe because of the poverty level. Because Holmes County is the poorest in the state of Mississippi, and Holmes County is the poorest in the United States of America. So when you talk about police just unjustly ticketing people and they having to pay $350, or they're picking people up for old fines, have to pay $650 or $1,800 just to stay out of jail, you're talking about is breaking people's pockets, because the majority of citizens in Holmes County, they're below the poverty line, which means they're either on a fixed income or they're working jobs for minimum wage, so they can't afford that. So that's why the situation in Lexington was so severe. And I would be honest to say that in October, the beginning of October, I just felt led to just draft a letter. It's a 5-page letter to the DOJ, and I really outlined the statistics of Holmes County and really showed them how bad it was and how it's really adversely affecting the population. And once I sent that letter, they just started responding, and they said, well, we're working on, we can't tell you a timeline, but we're getting ready to come in less than a month. They're here.
Oh, wow. Man, I just got to commend you. Man, ever since I met you, Mr.
Wow.
Wright, you have been working in the community, organizing, and at the front line on every issue. So I just want to commend you for standing in the gap for the people, man.
Yeah.
And thank you. I really do. I really do appreciate that. Because I stand on the shoulders of great legends like Mr. Walter Bruce, Mr. Eddie Carthen, your father, Robert G. Clark, Hartman Turnbow, all of those predecessors. So it's like, since I feel a sense of responsibility, since that older crowd picked me to be the president 3.5 years ago. So I just refuse to let the organization fail. And I don't believe in not doing anything. You know, the saying, stagnant water stinks. And whatever I put my hands in, I want to make it progress and I want to make it go forward. So whatever the battle is, whether it was, because the first issue we had was the Confederate statue. We started with that. And then as the situations kept going, we just took one battle at a time. And so this has been the longest battle. So we just can't sit still, because we have seen the citizens of Holmes County be under the thumb of oppression for so long, whether it is by rich white people in Holmes County, or if it's the Lexington Police Department, or if it's the school board. Really don't care. I'm tired of it, because people need to be able to live life peaceably and freely and fairly. I don't want to see where you a black man go through a roadblock, and because he has weed in a pill bottle, you take him to jail. But a white man come through in a pickup truck and he has 2 big bags of pills, and you send him to rehab. I have a problem with that. That bothers me. And that's actually a real story that I had to deal with. And I called the chief to carpet, and we had a meeting with the former chief, Sam Dobbins, the mayor, the city judge, the city attorney, and 2 of the alder persons. And I had a meeting. I said, this is not right. And y'all are not going to treat the black people like this. Like, we are 88%, we're 83% black in Lexington and Holmes County. And you're just not going to do that. You can't do that. And I'm not going to stand for it.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome that you're a voice for the people, because they got to have somebody that can stand up and represent and voice their concerns and their fears and the problems that's going on in the community. I wanted to ask too, so since DOJ is there, do you sense maybe a difference maybe in the people in the community? Like, is there a sense maybe of hope, or is there a sense of maybe like nothing's gonna happen, like they really don't think that a change could take place? What are you hearing from people now that they're seeing this take place?
Well, it's actually both. From the people that were dealing with the Lexington said situation, they're hopeful because I made them a promise. I made them a promise and I told them that we're going to get justice one way or another. And I told them because I got tired and almost burnt out because I can get home and take a shower and lay down as soon as I put my head on the pillow and I get a phone call. Somebody got put in jail for something stupid, and I have to get up. So with that group of people, they are hopeful and they're excited and they're looking forward to it. But then there is another group of people who also have issues, but not particularly with the city of Lexington, but maybe with the sheriff's department or something like that. So they're feeling pessimistic about it because they want their situations to be addressed as well. But like I explained to them is the DOJ is not here to investigate any other entity, but if the road leads there, they will deal with it. And so you have mixed feelings, but what we are sensing in the community is people are, it's more calm. You don't see the police doing too much. Even some police have called me while they were doing traffic stops just to show that they were doing it the right way. So they're not doing too much because they know every day they come to work, the DOJ is there and they're going to watch and they're going to call because this is just the beginning. All they're doing now is pulling documentation and looking at records and police reports. They have not gotten to body cam footage and one-on-one interviews with the victims. They're going to be there. They're going to do every ounce of paperwork that I have, every audio recording of a testimony I have to turn those things over because they promised and said they were not going to leave one stone unturned. They're going to uncover this. And, and once the end of the investigation comes, they're going to release a public report. Anybody will be able to see it. It may be a consent decree, or it may be going to court where criminal charges may be filed on officers if it's found that they were really breaking the law. So it can go multiple ways. So the community really want to see charges brought, but it's not necessarily saying that they're going to file charges depending on what they file. But we are looking forward to see what's coming out of this. I do know that soon as the Department of Justice announced they will open an investigation, the Board of Aldermen, the mayor, and the police department went into a meeting as soon as they heard it because they're scared now. Because I told them, I said, I'm tired of standing out here in the cold and in the heat waiting 45 minutes to talk with y'all about the same things that y'all did not want to deal with because you liked the money that was coming in. And I know for a fact that in a 3 to 4 month period, the city of Lexington, with a population of less than 2,000, accumulated almost $90,000 just from ticketing and old fines. I said, no, I'm tired of that. And I'm tired of going before y'all and y'all are making excuses because y'all like the money because we're impoverished. So they like the money so they can do more things, get more equipment, but that's not the way to get it done. Find a way to use grant money. If you've been elected to a position, go and get certified in that position and find out how to get grants and bring in workforce training and different jobs.
I get them some grants.
I'm telling you, it's out there, but they don't know how to get it, so they overtax the people. And I just wasn't gonna stand for it anymore. But I will say this and go on record with this. It was not just the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. We were here from the beginning when the situations first started, but we had ACLU Mississippi, we had the Mississippi Poor People's Campaign, we had One Voice Mississippi, we had Black Lawyers for Justice, we had Mississippi Rising Coalition, Mississippi Center for Justice, Southern Poverty Law Center, and Julian. We had a few of them. So all of them played a role because once Officer Hooker stood up and recorded it and called the FDP and gave it to me and I leaked it to the news, that's when it blew up. And then all the organizations started to come in to help us and assist us in whatever capacity they could. So it was a collective effort.
And my final question to you would be, and so how do you feel about your personal safety? Because, as they say, once the company leaves, then we're left here with this. So how do you feel about your personal safety in all of this?
Well, I probably normally wouldn't talk about this because my mother's in the house, but yeah, it is. You know how mothers are, but it's been. I would say I've gotten phone calls to watch my back and to potentially get a weapon or wear a bulletproof vest because it's been said they gonna come for me.
Yeah.
They put hits out on me, but I've survived 3.5 years. I'm not going nowhere until the Lord says it's time, so I'm not worried about that. But I mean,
Wow.
it's that comes with the territory. I know
It's
it,
true.
but I don't really think they're foolish enough. Not right now.
Yeah.
But there's some other things that I'm working on that's getting ready to come down the pipe that's probably going to be more detrimental to them than this right here. So it can get a little more testy and
Yeah.
hot around here.
Yeah.
So I can't put that out what I'm working on, but believe
Yeah.
me, I have something that'll probably bring the whole system down because it's corrupt. And when I say corrupt, I'm talking about not just the police department, not just the elected officials, but judges,
From top to
attorneys,
bottom.
all of these people. And I said, I'm coming for all of you. I
That's
said,
the
yeah,
only way
y'all,
that it works.
yeah, they got the wrong one this time.
No, they got the right one.
Yeah, well, we did say the right one.
this time.
Wrong
Well,
one, right time.
Right.
Yeah,
I
Wrong
just
one,
We
right
can go with
time.
that.
Absolutely.
I think I don't know you personally, but I thank you for it
I'm
because it
floored.
is
Like,
it takes a lot of
wow.
courage and boldness, and you just have to be at the point that you're just tired of things being done wrong, and you're tired of people of color being mistreated, and so you stand for something so you don't fall for anything, and you sacrifice a great deal for the good of so many other people, and I'm sure that the people in your community, when this is all said and done, are going to be so very, very grateful that you did it.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I will say that the tipping point for me was when you see disabled people, mentally ill people,
Mhm.
and veterans who served in Vietnam and Afghanistan. They get targeted by the police. Like this one gentleman, 64-year-old war veteran, was pulled over by the police because he's one of how men in the country do. They buy used vehicles and they pull out parts and put them on different pieces and whatever. So he had put the truck together and rode through the town. They pulled him over because of the tag, but come to find out, the tag was fine. They took him out of the car and put him in the back of the police car, which was stupid. They should not have never done that. That doesn't even warrant you to detain anybody. And when they put him in the back of the police car, they shut the door on his foot, number one.
Mm.
Number two, they turned on the heat in the vehicle in 85-degree weather.
Wow.
And he was threatening a heart attack and he was dehydrated. And if it wasn't for another person riding by, called the ambulance because they saw that he was shaking real bad, about to have a heart attack, and got to the hospital. And the word was the doctors even cried because he would have died. But those are the type of things. And when you talk about an 84-year-old lady who saw her mentally ill son, the police just came up and body slammed him in the yard, and he's mentally ill. And across the street from them is a white officer from MDOC who told the officer, like, this dude never is in any trouble. Like, I don't know who y'all think he associates with, but he's never a problem. But they kept targeting this young man, and every time they would admit him, and he went, it affected his mental health because they ended up putting him
Sure.
in and out of the asylum 3 to 4 times for 3 to 6 months at a time. So they would just do stupid stuff, making an elderly couple stand on side of the street in the hot weather. You know how hot it gets in Mississippi in the summertime, just making them sit out there, stand out there on side the road, or just beat up this mentally ill woman on side the road on Highway 12, and we have footage of that. I mean, the stories go one end to another. Even now, this is one of the most egregious stories that I do have, and I try to amplify this story as much as I can. There's a mother from Chula. Her son stayed in Lexington and was gunned down going into his home. And when he died, the insurance company got word about it, and they sent documents, paperwork to the police department and asking, do you think that the mother played a role in her son's death? And they hinted at the fact that she did play a role. So now she can't get the insurance money to bury her son. So she did bury him, but That's the struggle and strain. Why would you falsify documentation? You know this mother had nothing to do with her son's death, but because you're being petty, because you say that you don't like anybody from Tula, so you make people from Tula suffer. You
Yeah.
are wrong. It is despicable and it's horrible.
And then
Like
they
those
wonder
are the
why you say
stories.
defund the police.
Hmm.
Because they owe with all they've done, they owe the community something better. And so maybe you can consider, like I said, they are a small city, but town, but consider putting more money, maybe if possible, like you said, hey, get Dr. J to get you some grants and put something more positive and pleasant in the community and focus little bit more maybe on healing the community, and then maybe you can heal the relationship between the police or the law enforcement and the community once they believe that they can trust them again, that they may be people of integrity, and that may take a while.
Well, I will say this before we got in touch with the DOJ from the Civil Rights Division, we were
Mhm.
working with the DOJ from the Community Racial Reconciliation Division. We would have regular meetings. We'll have the gentleman come up here, and we came up with a plan to kind of bridge the gap and work on the relationship between the community and the elected officials in the police department. Do you
Okay.
know we went before the board with the gentleman from the Department of Justice, and they did not want to work with us to do anything? They did not. See, those were the steps that people don't know that we took before we got
I bet they
Assistant
want to
Police
work
Officer
now.
Clark here. I'm pretty sure they do. Like we had the ACLU. The ACLU worked with us on policy changes. They did not
Mhm.
accept any policy changes. They was like, no, we don't want them. We fine. But what people don't know is all of their policies are reflective of the 1960s and beyond and before. All
Yeah.
of them are really racial because if you read some of the language, it talks about you can't be seen walking with no property attached to your name. You know what that is. It talks about you can't be playing basketball in the streets. You know what it's talking about because we couldn't go to the parks back in the day. So, like, all of their policies and ordinances need to be updated. And so we brought
Mhm.
somebody in to do that to help. They wouldn't accept that because it's pride. It's pride. They don't care. They just want the money coming in.
Yeah.
Can you all file a lawsuit?
Yes, we actually can file a lawsuit. Right now, if there's no lawsuit that's already filed, it actually needs to take a backseat to their investigation because their investigation is going to be concrete evidence. But I do know, Julian filed the lawsuit, but it was really just a temporary restraining order, and the judge struck it down,
Mm.
at the end of last year. From my understanding, she's supposed to have another lawsuit pending. I'm not sure. But we with the Freedom Democratic Party, we partner with the Black Lawyers for Justice, attorney Malik Shabazz out of DC, and he was working with us. He's just so busy, but we were planning on doing a class action lawsuit, putting all the victims into one lawsuit to really show exactly how egregious it is. But then before we actually can start the paperwork, because I met with all the citizens and got them to sign the paperwork, but right then, boom, the DOJ is here. So there's really no need to file right now until we see what results they will yield.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
That's a
Before
hot
you go, what do you think about our boy winning public service commissioner?
Yes, yes, I did want to mention that. So, like, because I work with the Mississippi Votes, One Voice, and PPC for the election as a poll monitor. And so they told us that we can't put anything on Facebook endorsing anybody or giving people shout outs because it'll look conspicuous because we're supposed to be as poll monitors. We're nonpartisan. So I was doing the work one day and I had left and got in the car and I typed up a Facebook status and I was saying, shout out to my brother to keep the stamp, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as I about to hit post, it came back to my mind that I can't do it. So like because I was watching his race and I thought I was like, Lord, please, he's down. And so then it seemed like at the last minute, it's like boom, he won. So I give a big shout out to him. I mean, I actually think at one of our events in August, I did a recording and endorsing and supporting him. So I am so excited because I think that's a prestigious position. And I think that with the type of person he is, being a friendly man, a community oriented man, that he can do real good work in that position. I'm really excited for him. And I'm so glad that he stayed the course and didn't let up.
I know that's right. Well, man, we thank you so much for coming on the show. We thank you for all the work that you are doing in the community. Stay strong, and if you need us, let us know.
I appreciate it. I sure
Yeah,
will.
you
Thank
need some
y'all for having
you.
security. You need security. Let us know. We coming.
me. Okay, I got you. I keep you in mind.
We
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay.
We
Y'all
appreciate
have
you,
a good
sis.
night.
You too.
Thank you.
Child, what y'all think about that?
Oh well,
Holmes County.
That's too
Y'all
much
know
for
that's
me to
where I'm
even
from.
unpack.
it's
A lot.
it's like something out of an old history book that you used to confine in a history book. That's something that still
But
that just
it
tells you
just
just.
What
I
you
was just
for
gonna
say?
say that
me,
just
I don't understand how we, and when I say we,
you
I
mean
mean as
Mississippi.
black folks, as African Americans, as Negroes, I don't see or understand how you don't see it.
Because
They
it's,
do
it's it's
see
in
it.
the system,
I don't
Jay.
understand how it's
Let me
just
let me explain to you. Because when you get a job and they
They
train you
see
on the
it.
okay.
job, they train you to be prejudiced. You treat people so some of the things that they do to people is embedded in the system. So it look like it's part of the system, but when the system is messed up itself, people think they're just doing their job.
It's
That
just the way that it's done, and I mean, it's the Mississippi small town way that it's done, and even though everybody knows their role, whether it's good or bad, and they play it, if and they're miserable in it. But hey, Mississippi, that's what it looks like, and that's things like that is another reason we have to fight so hard to try to change the image of this state. Because the sad thing is that that kind of stuff still exists. That sounds like something you read about happened
That is
years ago, but it's
absolutely
still happening in small
outrageous.
towns in Mississippi. So this is even for the people who say I'm not racist, but you need some anti-racists in your city and in your government and in those areas that can go in and make a change. But they're used to it. It almost sounds like it's just a area almost that want to just kind of give up and be like, we just accept it. That's just the way it is. So I applaud the gentleman for all that he's done, because he's the one saying, well, we're not going to just sit back and say, well, that's just the way it is. Man, they do us
I
wrong.
tip my
That's the
hat
way
to
it
him.
is. You
Yes,
flip it.
because
Turn your hat around to him. I give him a
never.
gold
I have to,
strolling
because
step.
even for me, just listening to him, sometimes I wonder, and I think I say, well, what is it can I do? What is it can you do? But the first thing is being knowledgeable of what's really taking place. You
Right.
know, hearsay is
Being
one
courageous.
thing, and kind of just a roundabout
Documentation. You got to have
is something,
documentation.
but knowledgeable of what's really going on, having the intelligent resource to be able to, depict and know which avenues to go to handle those situations are extremely important. And Cardell Wright, correct?
Yes.
That black man have it. He have that.
Yep.
He and I'm literally out of words. I don't even know what to say, because I was thinking as he was talking how I'm always saying, well, what can I do? Or what can I do? What can I do? But I never move on anything. I'm asking myself, and I see stuff and I say stuff, but then listening to that, all he did was draft, put it on paper, put it on paper.
He
It's I keep
documented.
telling people, write the vision. Hey, when you write stuff down, you gotta learn how, especially in the corporate world, when you want to get things done. See, black people, all we do is talk. We talk. I want to go talk to the supervisor. White people, they're gonna put it in writing. They want to set up a meeting. See, when you put stuff in writing, it makes it real. Talk is cheap. Anybody can talk. But when you put it in writing,
Document
somebody
dates
from
and
HR
time.
got to address it. It got to be a meeting about it. Black people don't take enough time to write stuff down and write letters, but you need to.
Yeah, well,
That's true.
I documents. I keep
And
up with
I'm one of
everything.
those that's
Dates, times, when it happened, what's going on. I keep up with it because I know you never know when that come back and
Well, you
you
know
need
that
it. And it may seem like a
I
small
did do
something,
that with
but it'll be important.
I did do that with Wisherman Properties, who were over the Weston, because I was one of the original employees who opened Weston. Yeah, we got them right on together, and I did spearhead that.
That's what you have to do. You have to.
Yep.
Yeah, baby, got them right on together. They got in line all the way.
I wish them much success.
Just hearing you say that, I remember when I probably was a couple years out of college, but I was working at UMC on a medication error grant, and I hated it because I felt like the white people were so prejudiced. Man, why I called Benny Thompson, and he was asking me to tell him some examples of this discrimination that they would do, and I guess I really wasn't able to articulate, some of the things that they were doing, and it probably wasn't discrimination. I just didn't like it or whatever, but I called Benny Thompson though.
That is too funny. Well, I believe she did it too. Dr. J said this race is so pretty cool. But that Thompson, you gotta have documentation.
At least you did do something.
Ooh, baby, I was ready.
You did move on it. You did move on. You didn't sit on it. You moved on it.
Ooh, I had to get a paperwork together. Some direction.
You had to get a paperwork together.
Oh, and I was just thinking,
I'm gonna try to follow this because
when you were running for office and we were doing your campaign and stuff. I think I did meet him because we went up to we went to Holmes County, and I think he had put together some form or something that you had spoke at that he was at. Yeah, I think I did meet him there. It's coming back. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Cardell, he's been in the game a long
time.
I
mean, kudos to that gentleman. I mean, if it's something I could do, I don't mind. Just let me know. We'll do it. Because we rode in my Jag that time that I had.
Yes, honey.
We rode up that road.
Memories. I was just talking about friendships today and how, man, your circle means a lot. Who you attach your wagon to means a lot. The people in your circle can either make you or break you.
Right.
And I don't think people really pay attention to who are in their circle.
Right.
You need to do an assessment. You need to promote and demote.
Depending on what you want to do and where you want to go.
Because we become conditioned in that too. We become conditioned in relationships. When it comes to friendships and family ship. We become conditioned. Oh, this has been my friend for 20 plus years. My friend allowed me to sleep on their couch when I got put out for a week. But at the same time, there's a time and there's a place for everything. And sometimes that time runs out.
Some relationships just runs their course.
Absolutely. Because, I had to do some cutting off after 20 plus years, but it happens. It happens. And
people be pulling you back.
You will see a difference. And you also have to know your worth, because people will attach themselves to you. You'll be drowning and they'll be swimming.
Ooh, child.
I found that out.
Baby, you better know what to say.
You'll wonder why it's not happening for you, or this is not happening. This door closed, this door is closing. There's opening, that's opening for them, that's opening for them. Because they know to stay connected and attached to their blessing. They say that the devil know the word front and back, just like it was written. So there's a reason he knew it front and back too. There is a good reason why he knew it front and back. Because people will know the blessings that they're attached to. Sure will. And we'll try to stay connected by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Because they have recognized where
Right.
things have come from and how things are happening from them, for them.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. But I'm telling you now, I don't know if you need a knife or a pair of scissors or exacto knife, or if you just can rip it with your hands. But you better get the turn and break it loose.
Yeah. Change your
Absolutely.
circle. Go do something different. Go to
I just
different.
gotta remind people.
Go to another level. Find people that want to collaborate, that love coming up with ideas. I have one friend in my life, man. She always thinks big, dreams big. And we met years ago, and that just being around her just made me feel like, man, I can do this, I can do that. It may seem crazy or impossible, but let's do it, Felicia. And I love that about her, because that jumped off on me. And I'd be like, let me just go for it. Let me just try this. Let me try that. Why not? And that's the kind of people you need if you want to move out or up from where you are and do something, you know, you never thought that you would do. Now, if you're happy where you are, then fine. But if you're not happy where you are, and you're just complaining about it and you don't know how to change it and what to do, and the people around you can't help and they're not pouring into you and coming up with the ideas and giving you the motivation, then you need to change that group. You need to get that group that wants to do that.
And not even just
And
that.
I
just want to remind you all that Judas was in Jesus' inner circle. He was right there at the table, laughing and kikiing when they was eating. Kikiing, baby, planning what he was gonna do with them 30 pieces of silver he got for betraying Jesus. But y'all know what? Even the betrayal was a part of the plan.
That's right. It was a part of the plan. And in the right time, they get exposed, and then you can move forward into your destiny. Once they get exposed and their role is done, you know. So and never let them back in. You know, like I posted before, I can forgive you, but that don't mean I gotta let you back in my circle. I can forgive you, but it's just never gonna be the same. You go on with your life. You know, I've dealt with that even just this year and last year. I'll forgive you, but it will never be the same between us. And so you're no longer connected to me. Cut it loose.
Got to cut it. Jay, are you frozen?
He can cut loose.
He had something profound to say.
Something profound. It just froze everything. But that's truthful. You got to change your friendship circle, you know, and you got to be around people that genuinely be like, I want my girlfriend to win. How can that help you win? And stand back and clap for you for real and be happy for you, you know, and motivate you and encourage you. And it's rare, but it's there. And once somebody has done that for you or you've done that for them, that's a feeling like no other. And you want to continue to do that. You know, when you see your friend, when you be like, that's my girl, yes, you know, and you see her happy and it's happening for her, your turn is coming too, you know.
Amen.
I remember once Pastor John C. Evans said in church one Sunday, he said, I want to ask you all to pray for somebody else to get their blessing before you get yours. That was mind blowing for me. I was like, wow. Could you do that? Could you help somebody else along the way, even though you're trying to go somewhere and get to another level too? Can you help them? And in doing that, maybe see that by even just helping them, they may be, I need to put them in position maybe first so that they can be a help to me in what I want to do. Sometimes we don't look at stuff that way. We just so focused on, oh, they're going to get it before I do, or they're going to get there before I do, or they got this and I don't.
And it's not a competition.
But it's not about that. Right. It's not about that. You got to sometimes realize you got to have a strategy, and you got to think logical and think, hey, maybe if this person gets there with their gifts and talents, then that can open the door for me along the way when I get ready to come there. You know, they are supposed to go ahead of me to find out things I might need to know later on that can help me. And a lot of people are appreciative of, you know, what you do for them. They're sincere and they don't forget you and what you did for them. And it works out, but you got to be a person of integrity. You have to be sincere, you know, and wanting to help them and see them win. it's like with books, Dr. J, for me, when I help people with books, when I see them trying to hold it in their hand, I feel good because I'm like, man, I helped be a part of that. I helped make that possible for you. And I'm just happy for the person.
Gotcha. Well, we've been talking about all this good stuff and, these conversations.
He's back.
What's going on in Lexington, baby? I'm ready to talk about.
I don't understand what's going on.
I'm ready to talk about Common, baby, and all these people.
Common is dating.
Common, and I want to know what's going on. Like,
he's the common denominator, but he's dating. He's single and he's mingling.
Oh, y'all know what's going on.
He's singling and mingling.
Well,
I don't see how a woman dates him after he's been through all that. Jennifer,
if that's what you want to call it now.
Come on, y'all. Let's be honest. Let's have an honest conversation because this happens a lot in our culture, in our community, and people don't want to talk about it. They see it, but they won't. Let's talk about it.
I just think I think the common denominator of the problem is him, but I think he just likes seeing how many women he can mark off on his roster, I guess, but I guess he say he's single, he can mingle. And if you foolish enough to come behind the next woman and think you're going to make a difference. I mean, let's talk about Jennifer. So up until Jennifer, surely you've seen all these women that he's dated, and you've seen a pattern in the amount of time that he dates these women and how it always ends for them. And yet you decide.
So what in Jennifer mind gonna be like?
Make her want to jump. What makes you think?
I don't care how fine he is, how much money he has. Like,
he's gonna do the same thing to you.
He's gonna treat you different. But people be thinking, I can change him, girl. I'm different. Okay,
Tiff was so in love. He get them all in love and sprung, and then he'd be like, I'm bored now. Next. And somebody walks right into the spider web.
What you gotta say, JJ? You a man. What's going on? What's the
reason? Technically, I am a unicorn.
This nut said he is a unicorn.
So I can speak from.
How you like to be addressed, unicorn?
I can speak from a male perspective. I can speak from a trans woman perspective. I can speak from a non-binary perspective. There are so many avenues that I can speak from because, and the reason that I can speak from those avenues is because I have experienced those avenues. So I will say this, in my opinion, from Kim Jones, Erykah Badu, Taraji P. Henson, Serena Williams, I want my fact check, Angela Rye, Tiffany Haddish, and now Jennifer Hudson. Y'all, all of these relationships have been within 20 years.
I'm telling you, he's moving along.
I believe that common is not so common. Now, I think that there is some type of other issues that he is battling and that he maybe need therapy for. I think that these women have become what I consider passerbys until he truly figure out where he want to be, who he want to be, and how he want to be. I think that he is a narcissist, and it's probably and he probably is. Let me take a sip before I say this.
I might be giving me a sip. Ginger ale.
Seriously, no. I think that he is a narcissist, and I think that he maybe have a sex addiction. So I think it's a layer of things that make common not so common, and yet you have these star-studied women, because each one of these women during the time of his dating them, they were
Yep.
the topic and start study at the time.
Mhm.
And as me being common and not so common, I have to stay relevant too. I have to stay in the know. I have to stay in the eye. I have to stay in there.
Wow.
So that is what I unpack when it comes to common. I think that the women are actually attracted to him and they are enjoying his company. But overall, common is not so common, and I think common needs therapy. And he think about it. All those relationships, 20 years, he has one child.
Yep. And they had a strained relationship.
He
for a
has
while.
one offspring. You know why? I can speak from male point of view, transgender woman's point of view, being a non-binary individual point of view.
You ain't telling the people what that means.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
What that mean?
I think I shared it before on here.
No,
I shared it again. So
no, I'm saying why. What does that allow you to see or to know? I know it's a different perspective, but
so it allows me to see it has allowed me to see things, feel things, and experience things from different lenses. Like experiencing as a gay black man, you know, I have experienced things and seen things that I didn't see or experience when I lived a transgendered lifestyle. Because from 17, I think 17 till I was maybe 20, I think like 8, maybe 29, I lived as a trans woman. I lived my life as a trans woman. However, after I became aware of who I truly am and understanding me, that's when I began to adopt and as the label that they have put on the market for us outside of human being is non-binary, which means that I don't fit in either category. I'm just a person. I'm just me, and I do me as I see fit. Right. So, and that's what non-binary means, just not being gendered. That's all it means. Don't gender me as male. Don't gender me as female. You know. So, yeah.
I would have to agree with you when you say, you know, because when I look at Common, I see some hurt, some pain, some unresolved childhood trauma in his background, and I wonder if his story kind of aligns with R. Kelly. I believe it's some type of sexual abuse in there
from a woman.
People deal with abuse in different ways.
In different ways, that trauma of it, yes.
Yep. And a lot of these men, see, I studied a lot of this stuff. 1 in 4 women are sexually abused before 18. 1 in 6 men are sexually abused before 18. And
but it's the least talked about.
Most people nobody wants to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the enemy gets power, by the stuff that we don't want to talk about.
Right.
So I believe that's what's kind of going on with Common. I can't wait to hear his story.
Right.
You know, and I know we're running out of time. I really want to talk about what Tasha K had put on her page about Dwayne Martin and Will Smith. Do y'all think that's true?
I didn't hear.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, Felicia, but Tasha K, she hadn't gotten enough yet. She ain't got enough yet. Now you sitting in court, you begging Cardi B for a payment plan. You have Tasha K have not learned her lesson. T.S. Madison got her wrapped up for sharing her information via social media and these blogs and stuff. Tasha K have not learned her lesson yet. I don't know what it's gonna take for that lady to learn her lesson. She ain't got it yet.
Why is
I think that she need a therapist.
Why is she like
She
that? What happened?
because she need a therapist. She
Baby,
need a
Felicia,
therapist.
if you were getting money from the views or after you saying crazy stuff and the most crazy stuff you say,
Oh,
you keep getting paid and people keep
okay.
watching, you keep
Okay.
saying
But
But
it's gonna
the
cost
thing
her.
about it is you're doing that,
She gonna lose
and
all the legal
but you
fees.
doing that, but you can't take care of your family.
Mhm.
You had to see your children away.
Damn, for real.
Mm. It's not funny. It could end up bad for her.
And I don't understand why she just, it takes I love T.S. Medicine for so many ways
I do too.
because I love T.S. Medicine for being authentic and real. I love T.S. Medicine because the mouth that T.S. Medicine had and she still have, I once had, but for some reason I just can't do it anymore because my mouth was real, real, real ruthless. I don't care about no. I used to care about no going high. I want to go as low as I can get.
You want to go as low as possible.
I'm trying to go as low.
Scrub.
No, I want to go as low as your Achilles tendon.
To the bucket.
I'm talking about. I'm trying to dig beneath hell.
6 feet. He said 6 feet under.
Beneath hell.
Ooh.
And
Growth.
I just, yeah, it is growth, but sometimes you just want to dig into it. You have to go ahead on and you just can't go high. I love Michelle Obama, and I probably do anything that she say because I love her and I respect her that much. But I just can't go high all the time.
They
I just
always
can't.
want to go high and they stay low.
I'm telling you, I got to dig below hell for some of these people. You got to go below hell. And it sounds harsh and it sounds bad, but one thing I do know, you cannot control a person's response. When you do something to somebody, you cannot control and you cannot ask them to just tap you after you done slap the taste out their mouth. No, ma'am.
Yes,
no, ma'am. Mm-mm. But she ain't learned her lesson, but it's coming. She thinks she's slicking that hair down now. She's gonna have to do more than slick that hair down.
I missed what it was that she said about them. What is it that she put out, Dr. J?
Ooh, honey, she put out so much about Cardi B and her baby and stuff. This was a couple of years ago.
I saw that, but I didn't see anything.
And so, of course, Cardi B. That's what I love about Cardi B. Cardi B don't even argue with these people. Cardi goes straight on go straight on and fill out her paperwork and let that be what it is.
The power of the pen. Quit all that talking.
And that's what they hate about her. She say what she gonna say, and then she get her pen, she fill out her paperwork and pay her coins, and she go head on and let that be. And I love that about her. I love it, So
wow.
And then for the TS Medicine thing, it's just hate. That's all it is. With TS being, of course, the trans.
What she did. We talking about what Tasha put out recently.
Right.
She so much.
No. The message that I posted in the group right before the show
about Will Smith and either Dwayne Martin.
And Dwayne Martin.
What? Okay.
The best friend said he caught them having sex. And he said he had said that,
She wrong for that. She gonna be the next one getting slapped numb in the mouth.
Allegedly. That Will was bent over and Dwayne was giving it to him real hard, real fast.
Yeah, she better stop that there. Yes. Ooh, she better stop that there.
Ooh, child.
Yeah, now if you put something like that out there, you better.
You better.
You better have it. Ooh.
Your receipts.
You best to.
Because I'm sure we're in them coming, unless it's true.
Yeah, that's
even if it's true.
I'll
still be coming.
Yep, to save face, they still gonna come.
And I ain't even gonna try to say, I wouldn't even try to save face, but I'm coming because you ain't got no business discussing me.
Right. And then you put that out.
I don't care. I could have been tooted up to
To the root.
to the rooter, from the rooter to the tutor.
Hey, nobody's business.
What is it your business?
I don't know why people care who people have in their
Who
bedroom.
they tune up to? That's crazy. You got to be insane in the membrane to be concerned about who
business
who
like
is laid up with who. That's crazy to me.
it ain't your man or your woman.
That cannot listen. That is not normal. What we live in this world and consider normal, that is not normal.
Nope.
Concerned about another person's whereabouts when it comes to their sexual encounters.
Crazy.
But she's risking her own reputation and image and
Yeah,
safety
but
for
listen,
money.
for $1 that she can't even keep because she's
Yup.
steady paying it out.
Yeah,
Go ahead. You better know what to say.
that's insane.
And so now what it is, she's forced to continue that foolishness because it is getting her paid, but it's also what it's doing is allowing her to pay what she needs to pay. So she's forced now to continue because if she stopped,
She
that's
really,
all you have. When that's all you have,
you gotta pay her attorneys. Yeah, but is it worth risking your safety and your well-being because and also Dwayne
Martin was also Tisha Campbell Martin's husband.
Right.
So they had separated too, or divorced too.
Right.
A while back here.
Right.
And it had been in between that 6-year period that Jada said her and Will have not. So, I don't know how true this stuff is, but it's a lot of stuff that's 1 + 1 is equaling 2.
Right.
And to add to that, Lisa Ray has said that Dwayne Martin was the reason why her and her husband not together. Said Dwayne was having women come up there to meet her husband.
For him.
Yo,
well,
my goodness.
I'll say this. Lisa Ray husband probably ain't with her because of her.
Don't say that. I know her the way she come out, but hey, let's give her.
Lisa Ray husband ain't with her because of her.
What you said because of her. That's all it is.
And she still don't have a husband to this day.
But hey, is that a shot? Everybody.
Her sister.
Or dream.
Her sister is happily married to her wife right now, and she can't even take it. She a hater about that. Lisa Ray, for me, let me tell you something.
Diamond.
When Players Club came out, I was a New Booty fan. What's up, New Booty? I was a New Booty fan. I was a Lisa Ray fan.
New
But I'm gonna tell you what turned me off from her. Some friends of mine went on a retreat cruise thing that she was on, and she was speaking and stuff. And I know I was not there. I was. But their report of her, and then me seeing and notice and listening to her from that point on, that's why she don't have a husband. I ain't saying about no other woman. That's why she ain't married, period, to a husband, a dog, a wife, cattle, nothing.
He said cattle.
Damn.
Now that's how you just go in. Let me just go and take it to the head.
And I'm keeping it nice. Child boo.
Child boo. Jay. Look, Dr. J, hit the video.
It's time to go, baby. It's time to go.
Hit the video. Say it, Jay.
Let me find it.
Hit the video.
But I think I will say this though. I'm gonna say this about the Will Smith thing. I think that there are some sexual, some bisexual thing, tendency as far as sexuality goes there. But at the same time, I'm gonna use the Dwight Howard word. Y'all weird. Y'all weird. I love the way Dwayne handled his situation. Not Dwayne, Dwight Howard handled his situation when this stuff just come out with him. Y'all weird. You concerned about what somebody is doing in their home,
Right.
regardless of who trying to leak or tell something. Y'all are weird.
Yep.
You're weird. And you need help.
Yeah, I really like these conversations. We got to have more of these real life conversations, especially about sexuality. I think many times we have been trained to think certain things about sexuality.
Absolutely.
I think I'm open now more to sexuality more than ever. Like, people should be able to be with who they want, when they want, how they want it, and it should be none of your business.
And
I was gonna get hurt getting other people
business. This is why I adopted and wrote up. Well, I didn't adopt. It's the wrong word to use. That is why I created the Backdoor Project under Life Inc. As a man who have sex with men. It was originally called MSMs, but they got rid of the acronym. Just call it Men Who Have Sex with Men. So this is the very reason why I created the Backdoor Project. It's these conversations that these type of men, whether they're heterosexual, whether they're bisexual, whether they're trans men, whether you are male but identify as binary, whatever you feel, these conversations have to be had, because this is what happened. This is what happens. People feel like they're airing something. Feel like they're tearing people down about something.
And you can cause people to want to kill themselves or stuff like that. Like that
For example, the pastor and the white pastor and political guy who killed himself because of this, because of somebody saying that he was, that he passed off as transgender. He did drag and this and that. That man killed himself. Him and his wife and his family had to understand. They knew what was going on, but it's because people want to belittle, demean, and to characterize people. Yeah. And I wish that all people had that same mental strength, but we don't. Everybody don't have the same mental strength or mental capacity to, withstand that type of stuff.
Our mind is a muscle, and most people don't exercise that muscle.
Their muscles.
They don't try to. It's a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset, absolutely.
Fixed, and they don't even want you to change. They don't even want new information
to
process it. So it's just crazy.
It is. But hey, Will and Dwayne, if y'all doing y'all thing or y'all done did y'all thing, kudos to y'all. I can only imagine what that was like. That's just me being me. But
baby, we done had enough.
Listen. Do your thing. Don't pay me no attention. Do your thing, because I ain't gonna pay you no attention. Because I'm gonna do my thing. And I ain't. Hey.
Y'all, I really want us to go on, but I respect people time. So I'm not gonna hold y'all up. In the final words, right quick.
We 14 minutes over.
Right.
I'll just say, be kind to people. You just never know what they're going through when you meet them. Be kind.
All righty, Jay.
Well, my final thought is, I'll say my final comment or statement is, everything common is not so common.
He's so messy.
And that's it for me.
Before I got on here,
she'll tell it.
Before I got on here, I was listening to Outwit the Devil, Napoleon Hill. And I just want to encourage people to train your mind to recognize the enemy and recognize negative energy, recognize exactly what you want out of this world and what's stopping you from getting there. Never accept temporary defeat. Demand what you want out of this life and don't stop until it give it up.
Right.
Man, thank you all for watching, man. Make sure y'all tune in next week, same time, same place, and we will see y'all.
View from the
See you.
Yes, baby.